All right, HCF viewers, welcome. You're going to see a lot of videos lately on the Alec Baldwin case, and mine's going to be an additional one. We're going to first explain to you what he used and what he should have purchased. He was the producer. For the amount of money he spent on a real gun, he could have bought a prop gun, and I'll explain the difference. But first, I want to go over ammunition. Over here is a 45 blank. Okay, what a blank means, it does not launch a projectile as we know it. It releases flame, it releases smoke, it can hurt you. But if you're about 10 or 20 feet away, chances are it won't. Okay? The next kind of ammunition is called dummy ammunition. And this is a dummy round. Let me see if I can show you. First of all, you see the primer is already pierced. And there is a little hole on the side. You can barely make it out there, but there's a little hole on the side. Now, dummy ammunition is used for training purposes. You want to fill your cartridge belt so it looks real cool. If you got a double stack magazines and you want to pull one out of your pouch, make believe you're loading your gun, it's nice to have the little head on top. And sometimes they're put in real guns for dramatic use because when they point the gun at the cameraman, he can see the bullets and it looks better than not seeing anything. And then over here I have some Remington snake loads. These are basically little pellets. Now, unfortunately, they look like some blanks. Some blanks look like that. They have a little crimp on them. So you could confuse this with a blank round. You should always know what kind of ammunition you're using because, as we have found out, there are dangers involved. Now, in the case of the Rust movie, now this is a real Colt single-action Army, U.S. model. It's marked U.S., but it's been extensively rebuilt. Now, the thing is with these, you can see I pull the ejection rod, you go like that, but you can't move the cylinder unless you bring it back to what's called half cock. Now you can go through and make sure it's empty, which is what he should have done, or somebody before him. And you do that. There's 6 cylinders, so just go 7 times, and then you'll be sure that it's empty. Now, when you load one of these, notice the cartridge. My fingers are on it. That means I'm leaving my latent print, unless the cartridge is very oily. As I stick it in, I have to thumb it in, which means I'm going to leave my thumbprint on the back. So in their investigation, they should be able to tell who handled the live round, who put it in the gun because of the thumbprint, unless there was lots of oil on the cartridge or the heat of the explosion took away the latent print. Again, that is something they have to do for the investigation. But you will notice that's the only way you can load it. Now, if I pull the trigger, sometimes it can go off. Normally, it's not supposed to, okay? So, on this particular gun, it's defective. Is his gun defective? I don't know. But that is something they have to consider. Now, if I pull it all the way back, and I pull the trigger, and then I pull it back, and let it slip, it'll fire. That way it will happen on any gun. Now, he claims he was not pulling the trigger. If he was not pulling the trigger, and it did this, the gun's defective. And that, again, is something that an investigation would have to look into. Now, the gun he should have bought, okay? This is an EMF blank firing gun. This is a prop gun. This is a prop gun. How is it a prop gun? Well, number one, if I try to shove, let me see if I have it here, something down the barrel, it's not going to go all the way because the barrel's just got a constriction. The cylinder is made so it cannot take live ammunition. Well, what if you replace the cylinder with one that does take live ammunition? The gun is made so you can't take the cylinder out. On the real gun, if I press this button, I can pull the rods out. I can get the cylinder out. This one's made so you can't do it. It's done for that reason. It is a blank firing gun, period. All right? And these are the blanks. I'll show you what they look like. They are not like a live round. Whoops. It's going to give me a hard time now. Yes, I can open this up. All right? These are 380 by, let me see and give you the official designation here. These are 9 by 17, okay? Now you will notice, let me put it next to a birdshot round. You can see you could confuse those two. Now, why would you have birdshot rounds on a range? Because they're also called snake loads. So you might have a real gun. You might have that kind of ammunition because you can then shoot rats, mice, and snakes without really endangering people. Now, if you take this gun, all right, this one operates properly even though it's blank gun. Okay, I got it at half cock. I can now load it with the dummy rounds only. You cannot put real rounds in there. Okay, you can only put the Fiocchi blank rounds. That's it. That's the only thing that'll go in there. Okay? Now, after I've loaded it, if I pull it back and, oh, it slipped. It goes right to half cock. Oh, it slipped, half cock. Oh, now it's ready to be fired. Now, if I pull the trigger, it fires. If I leave my hand on the trigger and I try to cock it, it'll fire. So, what do? Well, if you're a prop person, this is a prop gun. And the beauty of it is, it only fires blanks. And when the movie is over, you could probably go to a jeweler and engrave on it, this gun was used in the Rust movie or whatever, and give it to people as a gift, for people who are anti-gunners, because it's not a gun. To convert this to a real gun would require so much work and so much expense, it's not practical. You'd have to get a new barrel, new cylinder, find a way to remove the cylinder, and you don't know whether this gun has been heat treated to the point where it can take the pressure of a live round. It's made for blanks only. And as a matter of fact, let's see if we can get it there. Can you get it there where it says on the barrel?
Yeah, blank fire only.
Blank fire only. Now, what does a prop gun like this cost? About the same as a real gun. But it's a prop gun. You can reuse it, give it away after the movie's made, because it is not a functioning firearm. The gun he had is like this, a functioning firearm. And these guns can malfunction. And that is something that the investigation has to look into. They're going to have to look into, are there any fingerprints on the cartridge, the live round? Is there a thumbprint on the live round? Does the mechanism work the way it's supposed to? Does the half cock stay at half cock? I'm pulling a trigger here, nothing happens. Pull it back a little further and press hard, this gun malfunctions. Does his gun malfunction? That's something they have to figure out, all right? But in the interest of safety for all of you, know what you're doing. Follow the safety rules, point the gun in a safe direction. Keep your finger off the trigger. Don't point it at anybody that you don't plan to destroy. And just treat it with a lot of respect. And if a gun malfunctions, still the safety rules. Point it in the safe direction. If he had pointed in the safe direction and the gun had gone off, might have put a hole in the floor or in the ceiling, but it wouldn't have put a hole in another person. So for all of you out there, if you want to learn about gun safety, do not go to these gun safety organizations that Bloomberg and the others have. Go to the National Rifle Association. Thank you.